this is the most viral clip, and I think this is the most important clip. If there's anything that you watch or you are informed of from the State of the Union address, may it be this clip. Trump says, if you agree that the first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens, stand up. He says, if you agree with this, stand up. And surprising to no one who is politically involved and politically aware and discerning, Democrats don't stand up. Now, the average median voter who is unengaged, who doesn't know anything about politics, may not know this, but the Democrat Party, they absolutely hate America. Watch this. Oh.
Inviting every legislature to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Look at this room. Half of the room, the Republicans are all standing up. Which Democrats are standing up? Maybe there's a few, but the majority are all sitting down. Just absolutely incredible. Truly. Look at his facial expression. Trump's like, why aren't they standing? Look at him. He's like, look at the Democrats not standing. They're all sitting. The Republicans are standing. The Democrats are all sitting. Truly unbelievable. Unfreaking believable that half of Congress, half of politicians don't agree on this very basic truth statement. Like, he's just letting it marinate. He's just letting it go. Letting it soak in to the American public. Like, these are the Democrats. Look how much disdain they have for Americans. And this is such an important point that everyone needs to know, that Democrats hate America. It is unequivocally clear from this video that they hate America. This is the clearest sign of that. It is not hyperbole. Mark Kelly looking like Lex Luthor. This is not hyperbole. And again, I try to be as clear and level-headed. I don't like sensationalism. I don't like rage baiting. But truly, it is to be politically discerning to know that the modern Democrat Party and the modern left absolutely hate America. And the liberals who love America have been pushed out of the Democratic voting bloc. They have been pushed out from the modern left for the very sin of loving America. This is not fringe. This is mainstream for the Democrats. And in any other period in U.S. history, maybe even 20 years ago, a display like this, where Democrats will not stand, in actuality, they would sit for the very statement that the first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. That would have been justification to out and oust any American politician. Because if an American politician is clearly more loyal to foreign invaders and foreign illegal aliens, that means they are not a representative of their constituents. They're not. They do not represent their constituents. In actuality, their loyalty lies not to America and not to American citizens, but to foreigners, foreign nationals, foreign states. And this is why people need to understand there's so much gripe and hysteria about anti-Semitism today. And I agree. There are people who genuinely hate Jews irrationally for no reason. I get that. There are people like that who exist. Yes, I'm not dismissing that. But what I am trying to say is that when a lot of American citizens see that our tax dollars are going to foreign countries and are going to fund foreign wars on behalf of Israel, when you see that nearly every single American politician is beholden to AIPAC, Americans have concerns about that, because why is the American government so loyal to a foreign state and a foreign people over their own people first? And then they make claims about how being America first means you support Israel unequivocally. And I have a problem with that, because how does that make sense? No, it means you put the American people first. So this is what Americans have a problem with. And we're so tired of the smears, of being racist, of being xenophobic, of being anti-Semitic. These things don't matter anymore. And quite frankly, we don't care anymore, because America is disappearing. Because America is a people. And once you lose the people, you lose the nation. Look at how Shu is being labeled alt-right. Exactly. And that goes to the point where Shu on head is an avowed socialist. She is a socialist in her economic policy, in social policy, and her social beliefs. She's actually much more right-wing and traditional, but she is a socialist. She believes in universal health care. She believes in the redistribution of wealth. I don't. I'm not a socialist, but she is now on the right. Why? Because she loves America. And you're not allowed to love America in the modern Democrat Party and in the modern left wing in this country. Where if you love America and you prioritize American citizens over foreign nationals and immigrants, oh, you're a xenophobe, you're a hateful racist. And that is the narrative that they're setting up, which is so frustrating. And Stephen Miller had probably the greatest things to say about the Democrats' response to Trump's question. If you stand up if you agree with this statement. So Stephen Miller said this: the immortal visual of the entire Democrat Party, upon explicit repeated invitation, refusing to stand for the core moral principle that the U.S. government owes its allegiance to U.S. citizens and not foreign criminal invaders, is the most shocking image in the history of U.S. Congress. So true. So true. Like I said, think about it. In any other period in U.S. history, if politicians sat for the statement that the U.S. government should prioritize its citizens over criminal illegal aliens and over foreign invaders, over foreign nationals, that would be grounds for them to leave office immediately, because that is treasonous. That's treacherous. By definition, it is a betrayal to the American people, the constituents they are to represent. It is treason to pledge loyalty and allegiance to another country other than the United States. And let's say we can give a little leeway to civilians and citizens and permanent residents in America, but by no means should we be ever tolerating U.S. politicians, American representatives in our government who clearly have loyalties to other states over America. Stephen Miller also said this in response to Caitlin Collins, chief White House correspondent at CNN, that Trump on Democrats not standing up during what he believes should be applause lines during his speech. These people are crazy, I'm telling you. They're crazy. And Trump's right. They're crazy.
No state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will. Who would believe that we're even talking about this?
True.
We must ban it, and we must ban it immediately.
Immediately. Look, no one stands. The Democrat Party does not stand. I do not understand how Christians can continue to vote for the Democratic Party when clearly they are for the grooming and gender transition, the mutilation and castration of young children, preying on young children, separating young children from their parents, grooming them into their degenerate, crazy death cult. I do not understand for the life of me how Bible-believing Christians who claim to fear the Lord and love God can vote for the Democratic Party when not only do they hate America, they literally will not stand to cheer on the very basic statement that we should not rip children away from their parents and rip them apart, both in the womb and outside the womb. And this is why Jesus said, people will come to me and say, Lord, Lord, did I not prophesy in your name? Did we not heal the sick, cast out demons in your name? And Jesus will say to them, depart from me, for I never knew you. Christians need to understand and have the right view of politics. They have to, because this is grave evil that the Democrats are condoning and celebrating. This is a main point of their party platform.
Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy. I'm telling you, they're crazy.
Yes, they're crazy. They are crazy. If you cannot stand up and applaud the very simple statement that children should not be ripped apart from their parents and groomed to become a gender identity that they're not, and then so you put them on hormone blockers, you put them on puberty blockers, you put them on synthetic hormones, you castrate them chemically and physically. You can't, like this. I am so sick of this. I'm so sick of it. It is so incredible. And they're like, oh, Trump is so mean for calling Democrats crazy. They are crazy. You got to call a spade a spade. And this is why people love Trump, because he calls a spade a spade. Look, no Democrats standing. Look at that freaking... Look at him. That's Andy Kim, that freaking sellout. That most Korean Americans do not agree. At least Korean immigrants. Korean Americans are, the second and third generation, are a little too liberal. But look at him, not standing. You have freaking children. And a lot of these people have children. And they're okay with the gender mutilation and transition and grooming of young children.
Amazing. Incredible. Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time, didn't we? No.
All right. So in response to that, Stephen Miller said, you mean not standing for mothers whose kids were violently, ruthlessly murdered? Or for a widow overcome with loss, heartache, and grief? Or for the right of children not to be physically and mentally abused? Or for a hostage freed and reunited with his family? Or for passing a law to keep kids from being killed by illiterate, illegal alien truck drivers? Or for the core foundational principle of all civilization that government must serve citizens, not foreign invaders. So true. So true.
Agree. No.
Crucial point, Stephen Miller. Democrats didn't sit on their hands the entire night. They very consciously chose exactly what and who to stand for, clap for, and honor, and who to insult, denigrate, and dishonor. Democrats all chose to dishonor grieving parents and sanctify criminal invaders. Democrats declare to the world their searing disdain for and profound disloyalty to the actual citizens of the United States. They were repeatedly entreated to stand over and over. They refused. It was a moment that chills to the bone and which will live for 1,000 years. Truly, I have no better way of describing this. Stephen Miller completely nails it right on the head. They are unashamed about their disdain for America and American civilians. It is pathologically insane that politics has gotten to a point like this, and this is why. If SCOTUS doesn't rule to end birthright citizenship, if we don't mass deport all the illegals and even start to denaturalize and deport people who are not loyal to America, who hate America, who are loyal to foreign states, America will cease to exist. I do believe the next few years, the next decade, is the most pivotal moment in American history, because America had a lot of existential crises, right? But the most pivotal moment in American history on whether or not America will remain America or will be completely invaded, distorted, and transformed into becoming a distinctly different entity. By the way, I see you, DJ, in the chat. I'm not live on Twitch because I'm leaving Twitch. If you guys haven't heard, if you're just tuning in, let me update you. I'm gonna leave Twitch to be more for my gaming streams and my casual streams. YouTube is where I'll be doing my structured streams, my live streams where I talk about news, politics, and culture. So it is insane. It is absolutely insane that we are at a place right now with the modern Democratic Party. Half of the politicians that are supposed to represent the American public, they avowedly and unashamedly hate America, hate American citizens, and maybe they don't even hate American citizens, but they prioritize illegal aliens and foreign nationals over their own. That is grounds for dismissal. That is. In any other period in history. And I believe this moment where Trump asked the Democrats to stand, if you agree that the first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens, that by doing this, Trump took a huge gamble. He did. Because if Democrats stood, that would have proved him wrong, and that would have shown the American public that Democrats actually, they love American citizens, and they prioritize them. But Democrats still chose, considering the optics of this, to say no, to say definitively, no, we don't actually prioritize American citizens. We prioritize criminal, illegal aliens. Huge gamble by Trump and his speechwriters, but a brilliant move. Because if they stood, it would have weakened Trump. But because of this move, it strengthens Trump's arguments, and it only further strengthens the right's claims that Democrats truly hate America. And by all available statistics, right now, in 2025, 35%, only 35% of Democrats say that they are proud to be an American. 35%. And a big part of that is because a huge chunk of the Democratic voting bloc are foreigners. They're foreign nationals. They are people, they are immigrants who come into America recently, and they don't pledge loyalty to America. Their loyalty is to their home country, their country of origin, and they actually see America not as a home, not as a place with history, with culture, with traditions to honor. They see America as a place to plunder.